What's up, guys, and welcome to the Olsen Angle. Today we're going to be talking about a 5-star offensive tackle, J.C. Latham. He's 6'6", 305 pounds, and unbelievably athletic. When I watched JC's highlights, I was pumped for a few different reasons. The film we're about to see today is his first time ever playing offensive tackle. His freshman and sophomore year in high school, he played strictly defensive line. And something this young man does very well, especially for only having played the position for one season, is he actually uses his hands. And you see the effort of him always trying to land a punch. So in pass pro, he doesn't have his head in the block and try to lean on a defensive lineman. And that's the same exact thing in his run blocking as well. If you lean on a defensive lineman in pass pro or in a run block, it allows the defensive lineman to disengage and make a play. And it takes some offensive linemen years, and I mean years, to learn and understand to get the punch on a defensive lineman instead of leaning into the defensive lineman with their body weight. And the fact that he already understands this concept and applies it on passing downs and passing situations after 1 year of playing the position is unbelievable. When you're able to get hands on a defensive lineman, it allows you to keep your head out of the block, and it really gives you a fighting chance of winning that pass pro. This young man is unbelievably athletic and has quick feet. JC takes quick and powerful steps. And something that shouldn't be overlooked is he doesn't take false steps. He does a good job of handling linebackers on the second level. He takes his angle to where the linebacker is going to be as opposed to where the linebacker is. And that translates because as linebackers get quicker, stronger, with better reactions, they're going to go ahead and strafe off quicker to make tackles. And the fact that JC is on the right track allows him to always get a hand on the linebacker and prevent him from making that play. One thing I'm shocked that recruiting sites don't mention when they're talking about JC is that he's a drive blocker. And it might sound, it's not that important, he's a drive blocker. What does that even mean, TJ? A lot of high school recruits, especially offensive tackles, have a tendency to be position blockers. And what I mean by that is instead of driving the defensive lineman off the line of scrimmage by actually getting inside hands and moving him and creating a hole, what they'll do is they'll position their body in between where the running back's going to be and the defensive lineman to try to prevent the defensive lineman from making a play. And as you get to higher levels of competition, that's problematic because those defensive linemen are going to be stronger, they're going to be quicker, they're able to disengage from those blocks at a higher level as well. But when you're a drive blocker, it creates that separation and actually creates the running lane for the running back. And the last thing I want to talk about before we go ahead and analyze his film is he has a very gifted pass pro, especially for only having played the position for 1 year. And the reason I say this is because I used to play offensive line, and I can tell you, it takes a long time to learn how to master the kick slide. It really does. Being able to go ahead and prevent yourself from oversetting defensive ends to allow an inside pass rush lane. Being able to cover ground quick enough on the edge where you can get that cat blitz, that cornerback screaming off the edge, and you can go ahead and cover that speed rush by the outside linebacker. It takes a long time to be able to block those types of pass rushes effectively. And you see him handle those pass rush scenarios on multiple different situations and plays throughout the highlights. JC has an extremely high ceiling and a lot of potential. The more strength he's able to add to his upper body and the more comfortable he becomes at the position only bodes well for his future. But enough of me rambling on and on. Let's go ahead and jump into the highlights. Oof. He gets inside hands and golly, I mean, he just overpowers that defensive end and makes him look like a little boy. He repositions, he has those inside hands, but he finishes the block. I love the nasty mean streak right there. Yes, he gets that inside hand on the defensive end. He locks him out, and as soon as the defensive end tries to spin off the block, he has that breastplate and finishes the block. Perfect job, and that's textbook. Oof. What a down block. My God, it cleared the wide open lane there for that pulling guard, and he finishes the block. Offensive linemen love halfback draws. They can invite those defensive linemen right upfield, and as soon as a DN notices it's a run play, the offensive lineman could just flatten him and take him out of the play. That play is perfect. That might not be the craziest block you've ever seen, but that is a smart block. He notices that defensive end is cutting in, and he just washes him right down, and as soon as that defensive end gets parallel with him, he uses the push-pull technique to flatten down the line of scrimmage. That's a patient play and a smart play. Here that plays again, guys. He slow plays it right there and exhibits great patience. This is a play you see college offensive linemen struggle with and screw up on a consistent basis. He starts off by setting the edge for the guard. So he goes ahead and just gives a little bit of a nudge on that defensive tackle where the guard can get his outside footwork and take over the block. As soon as he feels that guard on his shoulder, he disengages and gets to the wide 9 technique, and he actually blocks the wide 9 technique. I know it might not look like he's physically imposing his will on the defense in that particular play, but that's one of the hardest blocks an offensive tackle could ever be asked to make, and he blocked it successfully. Here that plays again, guys. Sets the edge for the guard, then gets to that outside 9 and finishes the block. I love it. I know he's got outside hands right there, but damn, he keeps moving his feet and he finishes the block. I mean, he's keeping his head out of the block and doing the job on that slide protection. Ooh. That's a hell of a double team right there. He gets to the linebacker. He makes sure he's moving to where the linebacker's going to be. He stays in good position, under control when he gets to the second level. He locks onto that linebacker and finishes the block. That is paramount when you're at the second level. You lock on with those inside hands, you play to where the linebacker is going to be, and you finish the play. Perfect. That's an excellent pass pro. He's a little late on his punch because he has his hands low, but he finishes the block. Oh my gosh, that's an excellent job on that down block. He collapses the line of scrimmage. Given the quarterback probably should have pulled that ball, but it's still a great block by JC. That's a great pull. There's no false step. He gets inside out. He blocks the defensive end, creates a hole, and if the running back's able to follow him, I mean, there's a wide open gap for him. He gets inside hands, and oh my God, he's just physically imposing his will on the defensive end. Look at the effort on that play. He never quits. He gets inside hands right there, and he drives that defensive end right off the line of scrimmage. He gets that linebacker, and as soon as he locks on, I mean, that defender has absolutely no shot at disengaging. He's driving that defensive lineman 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. You see the effort. You have to love that mentality that he has on every single play. There he is again. I mean, he's blowing that defensive lineman 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. He gets to the linebacker, takes a good angle, and again, that linebacker has no chance to make that play. He's got those inside hands and active feet. It prevents a defensive end from being able to disengage and make a play. When you have that strength and athleticism, it can really cause a defensive end to become disinterested and just give up altogether. What a down block, and that running back runs straight off his ass for a huge gain. That's all caused by JC just collapsing the line of scrimmage. There's another great down block. Again, he's able to collapse that defensive end, and it leaves a wide open running lane for the quarterback. 3 plays in a row, he's just able to completely wash down the line of scrimmage, and it leaves a wide open running lane for the ball carrier. He gets underneath that defensive end and drives him 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. Being a drive blocker is pertinent to being an effective run blocker. Here he's again washing that defensive end down the line of scrimmage and creating a wide open lane for the running back. When you're that effective at down blocking, it prevents defenses from wanting to slant against you because you're consistently able to wash that defensive end right down the line of scrimmage, and it naturally creates a wide open hole for the running back. With his ability to down block and wash down the line of scrimmage, it's really going to cause issues in opponents' game plans in the future. With that down block, he creates another monstrous hole again. That's a good kick slide right there. He's able to go ahead and get his punch and lock it onto the breastplate of the defensive end. He's able to extend those long arms, and I mean, that defensive end has no chance of disengaging, making a play there. He redirects after the defensive end, tries to come back in with the rip, and he's able to again hit him with that long arm and the inside hand placement on the breastplate, and that defensive end has no chance of getting any pressure. As soon as that defensive end tries to go back inside with that rip move, you see JC actually power down the line of scrimmage and move his feet instead of leaning at that defensive end, which in all honesty would probably have been easier for him in that situation. He moves his feet and redirects so the defensive end has no chance of getting any pressure. He's able to get that outside hand in on the defensive end's breastplate, so he's able to prevent any type of outside pass rush move. Then he's able to just easily power back down the line of scrimmage to prevent any type of inside pass rush move. Perfect, picture perfect on that play. He tries to give him the stutter step right there, but it doesn't lock up his feet. He still continues with the kick slide, and he stays controlled in his pass pro. Boom, there he is again. He gets that inside hand placement on the defensive end, and as an offensive lineman, when you get inside hands on a pass pro, you're most times going to win the block. There he is. He's able to spot that cat blitz from a corner, blitzing from the edge. He's able to get hands on him and prevent any type of pressure. That's heads up football right there. After watching the film, I think it's pretty accurate to say that JC is extremely talented, especially for only having played offensive line for 1 season. Sure, there are certain nuances he can work on, but that's just like every single high school athlete. There's always room to improve in their game. But the knowledge, the athleticism, the footwork, the ability to get inside hands, the ability to grasp the breastplate, those type of things, he is already leaps and bounds ahead of other high school athletes, and that's why he's one of the top offensive linemen in this year's recruiting class. This young man has an extremely high ceiling, and I expect him to be a multi-year starter for whatever school he commits to. Thanks so much, guys, for watching the video. If you've enjoyed this content, be sure to let me know by subscribing and commenting below. I do read the comment section, so if you do ever want me to go ahead and cover an athlete in the future, or there's a topic you want me to talk about, there's the likely chance it's going to show up in a future video. But thanks so much again, guys, for watching, and have a great day.